Recently, I, 40M, cut off contact with one of my good friends, 40F. I have known her almost 16 years, long before I met my wife. We met in college and were part of the same friend group. After A and I graduated college, we both moved to the same city for a job. We found apartments close by and would hang out regularly. We would do grocery shopping together, hang out at each other's apartments, and go out for dinner. One day A told me that she loved spending time with me and that maybe we should officially date. I told her that I liked her as a friend too, but we were very different people and I did not think of her in that way. She told me that since we already spent so much time together, she just assumed I was interested in her and hence asked me. And she also felt we were very different people. We never discussed this after that. Nothing changed between us after that, and we remained close friends. 1 year later, I met my wife. We started dating and I couldn't be happier. I remember thinking after our first date that she was exactly the person I wanted to be with. She is smart and caring and I can't help but feel lucky I found her. We both got married and are now happily married for 11 years with one cute kid. My friend also met her husband around the time I was dating my wife, and she also married a few months after me. We all remain good friends to this day. My wife had asked me when I was dating if I ever dated my friend. I was honest with her and told her about that one night when she asked if we should date. My wife never had a problem with A and they both also went shopping together. The issue started happening 1 year ago. She told my wife and me one night that she was not happy with her marriage and felt her husband did not treat her well. I don't want to go in specifics, but 4 months after that, they filed for divorce and amicably separated. She did start spending more time with my wife and me as we were her emotional support. However, as time went by, she started texting me and telling me how sad she was. I always told her she was happy to visit us anytime if she wanted to talk. My wife, however, did not like that she was messaging me and not in group chat as she was as much of a friend to her and I was. She also felt that it was okay to be her support as a couple, but didn't want her to see me alone as her emotional support and message me after 10 p.m. about her problems. I did follow what my wife said, as I feel as a married couple, we should have boundaries with how we talk to our friends, irrespective of their gender. I don't know if I said it in the wrong way, but when I told A about this, she lost it on me and started berating my wife for being controlling. I tried to explain to her that it is just boundaries that we have to set as a couple and I am sure I would do the same if my wife's friend was messaging her late at night. However, she was just offended by the implication that she had any motives for talking to me. After the fight, I decided to let the situation cool off on its own and didn't reach out to A. She also has not messaged me since then. My college friends are now calling me and telling me I am an asshole for ignoring A in such a vulnerable moment and that I am a bad person. My wife of course supports me, but feels like I let the situation go too far. I do miss her, but I am not comfortable talking to her if she does not respect my wife and my boundaries and messages me at any time of the day. Do you think I offended her when I told her not to message me late into the night? If you were in my situation, how would you tell your friend to respect your boundaries? Update 1. Thanks everyone for all your opinions. I didn't know who to talk to about this, since everyone around me seemed to think I was overreacting. I showed the post to my wife, and after reading it and the comments, she was a bit mad at me, rightly. According to her, I did omit some key facts from the story that make us sound like a bad guy. Here are some of the things I should have mentioned according to her. She asked about dating once, 13 years ago. I should let it go. She has been a great friend to us and a great aunt to my son. A and I only hang out in social settings. Mostly, at parties and get-togethers with our friends and family. My wife is in charge of my social calendar, hence, she talks to her more than I do. She has been a close friend of A for a long time, and she spends time together with her and makes plans with her even when I am not around. A has told my wife that she sees me as an older brother who is very protective of her. This is true. I have very few good friends, and I do care a lot about all of them. The messaging at night happened only twice. We have a do not disturb, but there is a list of people as an exception, and A is one of them. However, we only expect them to message if there is an emergency. When A messaged me, my wife first asked if she is okay. But then was annoyed since we were both sleeping. Hence, when it happened again, she asked me to tell her not to message late. She also mentioned why she was messaging me and not the group chat. Our fight happened 3 weeks ago. My wife has been telling me every day to call A and sort things out. We both still care about her. My wife also thinks that A and I have huge egos and are acting like kids and my post just went too far. She called her this evening after reading the post. They are meeting on Sunday for brunch. I am not going, as I am not going to talk to her until she apologizes to my wife. Let's see what happens. P.S. Sorry mods, I am not used to posting on Reddit, so I am not sure how updates work. Also, I posted the same post on another subreddit, since I read a bunch of them and I wanted to see what people say. Sorry if it was confusing to some of you. I didn't know it was frowned upon. Update 2: My wife read my post and decided to take things into her own hands. She is also good friends with A and told me that she cannot stop being her friend just because of our misunderstanding. She met A on Sunday for brunch. I took my kid to a trampoline park and had fun. After brunch, this is my wife's description of what happened. She said that A met her and looked sad. She immediately apologized to my wife and told her that she said some terrible things about her in the heat of the moment that she did not mean. They hugged it out and had a nice brunch. I also heard that a lot of tears were shed. A told my wife that Is had been feeling down since Thanksgiving, since it was her first Thanksgiving without her ex after many years and was overwhelmed with the prospect of being alone during holidays. Hence, she wanted to talk to someone. Since she lost most of her friends in divorce, as they were mostly her husband's friends, we were the closest people to her. She wanted to talk to us that night. She knows my wife and I sleep early and didn't message in the group chat like she always does. She saw me online at 10 p.m. and messaged me. This part was not correct, as I distinctly remember being woken up from sleep with her message. She felt bad that I was so dry in my responses and lost it when I told her not to message me at night. She also hated the implication of me telling her to use group chat, as she felt I was her friend and I was pushing her away. After that, from what I understand, there was a lot of talk about how I am emotionally unavailable to her, and my wife also agreed that while I did a lot of things, I never really talked to her in detail about how she is feeling. After brunch, I gave my wife a big bag of gifts she got for my kid for Christmas. She always spoils him, especially during holidays. My wife invited A to spend the night at our place so that she could watch my kid open the presents. A agreed, and she told her that she would come in the evening. A messaged me before coming that she was coming in 30 minutes and to tell my wife. Once she came, it was nice to see her and she gave me a long warm hug. We had a wonderful time at night, but my kid was the happiest since his favorite person was home. We also had a nice morning, and it helped me make breakfast while my wife got my son ready for the morning. My wife got a sweater, but I commented how I didn't buy her a gift. She asked me to assemble her furniture on Friday and mount her new TV. So, there goes my free day on Friday. Overall, my thoughts are A is a good friend and I know how much I love my wife and never do anything to jeopardize our relationship. Hence, if my wife is comfortable, I should not make things weird and just be there for a friend. I don't think there is going to be another update, but I just wanted to write this as things turned out okay at the end. Happy holidays, everyone. P.S. A lot of you messaged me privately. I read all the messages, but I chose to ignore them without replying. Mini update: I thought the last update was my final one, and things are going great. But all comments felt like you were trying to talk me off the ledge. My wife is going to her parents' house today with my kid. So, today morning during breakfast, I asked her to read the comments on Reddit. She told me that it's stupid I am posting this on Reddit and she is sure I must have again embellished the facts to suit my narrative. She refused to read the post. She feels she is great at reading people, and she knows it better than anyone on Reddit, who just knows her through my short post. She brought up how I go to help my guy friends on their projects sometimes early Sunday mornings and asked me why I am hesitant to help A. I am sorry to say, but she also told all of you to get a life and stop watching soap operas, as real life is not as complicated. She has a point. I help my friends all the time, and if she trusts me to be alone with A, then it would be sexist for me to be hesitant to not help her just because she is a good-looking woman. Also, after reading the comments, I am curious as to what exactly is going on. So, this is what I am going to do. I am going to A's house tomorrow to help her with the furniture. I am going to see if she says anything remotely weird that is out of line. If she does, I get a reason to avoid her in the future. If she does not, then she gets her furniture assembled. Also, I know I am 100% faithful to my wife. I am 6 feet 3 inches and 200 pounds, so I don't think I need to worry about anything. I liked the comment to go there early and get done quickly. That way, I get the rest of the day to myself and finally try on my new Quest 3 for the rest of the day. Finally, a messaged me this morning and asked me what time I was coming. She asked me to come after 10 a.m. since it's her day off too and wants to sleep in late. Also, asked me what I would like to have for lunch, as she would be cooking. Final update. So, the plan was I go to A's place at 10 a.m. and assemble her stuff. She was to cook a nice meal for me, and then come home and finally get to play my Quest 3 on my free day. On Thursday night, I was talking to my wife before sleeping and her tone was slightly different. She had 100 questions about my visit to A's place, when I was going, when I was coming back, etc. She said that our toddler son missed me a lot, especially when sleeping since I always tuck him in. She asked me if I could directly come to her parents' place after I was done with A's work and tried to come there before dinner time. I was okay with that, but that meant I had to leave A's place before 2 p.m. So, I messaged A and we decided that I come at 9 a.m. I reached there around that time. A had just woken up and was in her night pajamas, as some of you guys had predicted. She offered me coffee and breakfast, but I had already eaten, so just got the coffee. She showed me what needed to be done and went to take a shower and got dressed. After that, she came to help me, but after she messed up a few things, I told her to just play something on Netflix and continue my work. She then went to prep for food. We talked about our friends, gossips, etc., and to be honest was a really fun time. I did confront her about why she told our friends about our fallout and made me the villain. She taunted me that unlike me, they call her to check on how she is. One funny thing was my wife and son kept on calling me every hour as my son wanted to show me all the things he was doing. So, that kept us entertained too. I was mostly talking to him while I was working. The food was amazing. For context, A and I are from the same country and were born in the same city. So, she cooked some curry that we only get in my part of the country. It was great and I thoroughly enjoyed the food. Made the visit totally worth it, to be honest. She did not say anything bad about my wife but asked me why my wife reached out to her and not me. She also asked me if our fight caused any tension between us. Finally, I was done by 2:30 p.m. Since it was a 4-hour drive, she asked me if I wanted to rest for a bit since I had been working since morning, but I decided to get going so that I can make it to dinner. She also had a great time and told me we should hang out more often. I did pack some leftovers for my wife and her parents. Overall, you guys were wrong and it was nice to spend time with a dear friend. I did not get any creepy vibes from her. When I reached my in-laws' place, it was late, but we had a nice dinner and of course was able to tuck in my son. I was talking to my wife and my MIL at night and my MIL was pissed at why I would go to A's place alone. Apparently, my wife told my MIL about the whole saga and she saw red flags all over, just like you guys. She scared my wife into thinking something was off. That was the real reason my wife called me over early so that I finish my work sooner. I think my wife was also calling me every hour to check if everything was okay. However, I told them there was nothing to worry about and I had a nice time and it was very appropriate. We had a great weekend and just returned today. Sorry everyone if my post is not as spicy as everyone expected, but guess this is real life. Wish you all a happy new year. That is all we have of this story. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to connect with each other in the comments below. Until next time, be kind, be curious, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, Corner Stories signing off.